We are live, guys, talking This Week in Geek, and we're doing Let's Fucking Go. We're only a few weeks away from Deadpool Wolverine. I'm one of your hosts, Zach, but of course, the main man of this channel, one of my closest friends, Ren. How you doing, man? I see you're wearing an Ultra Instinct Goku shirt. That is
I'm gonna have leg day after this, so I need the inspiration. I need Goku strengths.
I love that. I love that, man. But this is gonna be a fun discussion.
Yes.
Just now we're like almost there. There's no more trailers. I know they're going around with the 40 minutes of footage. I really don't. I've seen it, sadly. Like, not the footage, but I've seen what's in the
description.
But I think this is a really cool thing to come to and have a conversation about, because it's kind of the No Way Home effect. Are they in it? Are they not? And that's what I've really loved about the marketing for Deadpool and Wolverine is there's so many rumors. There's so many people we can talk to. But if it's not in the trailer, it's not 100%. That's just how it is. Like, we can hear that Wesley Snipes' Blade's going to be in this.
Honestly, with Marvel movies, unless it's in the movie itself, it's not 100%, even when it's in the trailer sometimes.
Because they could have cut it. They could have cut it. I mean, Daniel Craig was originally supposed to be in Doctor Strange. He never shot, but he was like this close to being in it. Is what Balder the Brave. Yeah. So wasn't there something else they had cut in there too? I feel like there was a couple other cameos they had cut, but I can't remember.
I'm sure they did at least in concept, but nothing that they like actually shot.
Yeah. But imagine how many things they actually have shot and cut. You know, that we don't even know about. I know, like, has Beta Ray Bill supposed to have been shown up at this point, but they just like never CGI'd the character and just never went forward. So it's gonna be a fun conversation. We definitely want to hear you guys in the chat. But before we get to that, we're gonna talk about our weekly ranking. We're gonna talk about what happened this week in Geek and what we're gonna basically what we watched. So, Ren, do you want to get us started with this?
I shall. So I watched quite a few things this week because I had 3 screenings this week. In last place, and to be fair, I don't think I watched anything I didn't like this week. But I certainly watched a few things that were fine, but I don't personally care too much for them. In last place, I'm going to have this movie called Ezra. Do you know what this is?
It sounds familiar.
So this is, I don't know if it's the directorial debut, but it is directed by Tony Goldwyn, who you know from Scandal. He also voiced Tarzan in the original Disney animated movie. Stars Bobby Cannavale, Rose Byrne, Robert De Niro. They have this autistic child.
Bobby Cannavale or whatever.
And they're just trying to do what's best, trying to raise this kid because they're all also separated. So it makes things complicated. Yes, not sadly, it's not a biopic of Ezra Miller. Thankfully, it's not a biopic of Ezra Miller because otherwise it'd just be throwing chairs at people's faces. If you want to see that, go watch some professional wrestling. That's fun. Because at least then the people are expecting chairs to be thrown in their faces. I thought the film was okay. It is very standard. It doesn't, nothing about it really pops, but I like its ideas. I like its messages. I think it's completely inoffensive. I think it's heartwarming, but it just doesn't leave much of a mark. A little over that also doesn't leave much of a mark apart from the charm of its stars is Fly Me to the Moon, which you talked about last week. Like you said, you were very right on this one, Zach. It is better than what it looks like. It's not a great movie. It definitely overstays its welcome because it's a romantic comedy that runs at 2 hours and 12 minutes. When it focuses more on being a drama about accomplishment, and when it really focuses in on the fact that these people, all these thousands of people together, accomplish something really incredible and unprecedented. Channing Tatum is really good. Scarlett Johansson, of course, is really good. Everyone's really good. No performances really pop in a negative way. In fact,
can I ask you one quick question about the film? Yeah. Do you think they should have just been platonic? That was a big conversation some of us had.
Same.
And I actually think they should have been platonic. I do not think they should have had a relationship.
I think I like that they tried to have a relationship. I would have done it in a way that, like, look, relationship is not going to work, but let's stay platonic. But I like the attempt at it.
Okay.
So I agree. There are a few problematic issues with this movie. Especially when you look like at the synopsis and what the film focuses on is like, oh, this kind of looks similar-ish to Hidden Figures. And when you have that in your mind, it's all the more noticeable. There are no, well, there's one character, to be fair, but apart from one character, everyone else in this movie is white. And this movie deals a lot with trying to get the support of certain senators. And it doesn't really dive into the whys of why certain Southern senators would not support the NASA program. If you want to take a look at as to why those senators didn't support the NASA program, Google is your friend. But it just raises a few eyebrows throughout the film. I thought it was charming enough. It's a Sunday afternoon movie. You put it on TV. You put it on a background while you do something else. On top of that, Zach, do you know what I watched for the first time this week?
No.
Beverly Hills Cop, the original.
Great thing that you did. So did I.
There you go. Then I'm not going to say too much about it then. We'll leave it for when you bring it up. Okay. Enjoyed it. It doesn't really pop for me apart from Eddie Murphy. And like, I know Eddie Murphy is a superstar. So this being like a quintessential star vehicle, it doesn't pop in that way for me. I wanted more action. This action comedy has a total of 2 action sequences, but I really enjoyed it. His energy is infectious, and I shall work my way through the next 2 movies to get to the new release. On top of that, I'm going to have Maxine. This is an incredibly flawed movie, but I'm also someone who believes the other 2 movies previously in this trilogy are immensely flawed. It's just a lot more to my taste. The entire vibe, aesthetic, and feel of the film, from the setting to the music to the characters, a little bit of noir in there. It's just what clicks more with me. It's more for my tastes. So to me, easily my favorite in the trilogy. That said, I'm not here sitting saying this is a great movie, because plotting-wise, this movie has a ton of issues. And at my number 1, again, not going to dive too much into it because my review is ready to go, but it's not uploaded yet. Long Legs. I have seen the movie, and I promise you, you have never seen Nicolas Cage like this before. Not even close to it. What do you got?
Did you see the phone number you could call for it?
Yeah, we got little cards. We got
I was making
posters, and we got the little cards.
I was making people at my work call it. Because I didn't want to. I was just like, yeah, you know. Yeah, so I made like 5 different people call it, and they're sitting there and they're like, all right. So
you should have them call me, and I can just impersonate Nicolas Cage.
True. All right. So coming in last place, Despicable Me 4. It is probably the worst Illumination film, and it is probably the worst Despicable Me film.
Worst Illumination.
It is it's very disjointed. It feels like a straight-to-video film. In almost every way, plot, everything. And I think that came down to being my biggest issues, that it felt like they didn't know the story they wanted to tell.
Is it worse than Hop?
I would rather rewatch Hop. Again, I've only seen Hop. Okay. I saw Hop years ago, but from what I remember, Hop at least had a story. It had a continuous story. This film frustrated me because in moments it's fun. But when I'm not having that much fun, because I'm sitting there like frustrated with, there's so many storylines in this fucking movie. And there's so many things that they obviously don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with the young girls. They don't know what to do with the wife. And they already have the minions as comedic relief. But wait, now we have a baby. So the baby also has to be comedic relief. So then there's so many subplots. Like, do you care if I just start mentioning some of this? Okay.
I do not.
There's a subplot with Gru. Like, they have to go on the run because Gru imprisons one of his old classmates from high school. But it turns out that classmate, which, let me just say this, the villain, awesome in this. Will Ferrell does a great job. Did not even know it was Will Ferrell.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there was a villain in this, and he was voiced by Will Ferrell.
Had zero idea it was Will Ferrell until the credits rolled.
Okay.
He did a really good job voice performing. Like, now that I see and hear, I've seen him like do the voice for it. I'm like, okay, it makes sense now. Like, I can hear Will Ferrell in it. But a really cool villain. So much they could have done with it. Underwhelming conclusion to the whole thing as well. But they have a subplot with the minions becoming superheroes.
Okay.
Then they have a subplot with the little girls learning karate. They have a subplot which goes nowhere. Let me just tell you that right now. Goes nowhere.
I assumed.
Then they have a subplot with the wife having to get a job at a salon because they're, witness protection. Then they have a subplot with the oldest girl at school getting bullied. Never goes back to it. Not one bit. Then they have a subplot with Gru becoming a salesman and having to take care of the baby. Oh, wait. Then he gets blackmailed by this little girl who's inspired by villains. So now he has to come out of villainy and do a heist.
Okay.
And it's all these things that in a context of a 5-minute short on a Blu-ray or a Netflix, hey, here's a bunch of fun Minion shorts. They're all going to connect by the end, where you're watching them in 5 minutes. You're like, this is fun.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like you're describing a series on a streamer, and every episode is just random sketches, which is fine
in this new town for them being in witness protection. And then by the end of the series, it ends with them having they get found or whatever. Totally cool, but none of it comes together. Even the superhero stuff, like, you would imagine that they would really basically come in to save the day, and you can guess that they would, but to be honest, Gru kind of had it. Like, genuinely, like, Gru had it. Like, they didn't even need him. And yeah, dude, it's not good. It is not good. Like, kids were laughing in my theater. Your kid will laugh. I don't think you will.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
It looks very much like, from what you're describing, it sounds very much like it's one of those distract the kids for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know if I'd watch. Like, if I had a kid, I don't know if I'd have him watch this movie. Genuinely, just because this is like also one of those films that just, I don't think it adds anything. Like, if I'm gonna have him watch them, it's gonna be the first Despicable Me. That's the best one. And it's, well, I like 2 a little bit more, but it's the best story-wise one. With a character arc and everything like that. So, bottom, just, it was whatever. Up next, I watched X-Men The Last Stand, continuing my X-Men rewatch, going to pass through a lot of them this week because I keep forgetting I have Comic-Con this week, so, like, I'm not going to be able to, like, do it. So, I need to finish these. So, X-Men The Last Stand, it's solid, but it misses any of the big. I went back and actually watched your retro review for it because you actually had a retro review for it, I think. Yeah. And I went back and watched it, and you said it like perfectly. You were like, basically, if the first 2 had all these strong ideas, this one switches it for such a generic, straightforward action. Like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, everyone's good in this. Famke Jane, how do you say her name?
Famke Janssen.
She's incredible in this, like, with the way that she portrays. Jackman's great, Stewart's great, Magneto's great.
The way she just stands there doing nothing the whole fucking movie.
I have to tell you, though, I was watching this and I'm like, man, if they ever do Dark Phoenix again, which they will attempt in the future.
Yeah, 100%.
James Wan would nail the possession aspect of like the Dark Phoenix. So really cool. But yeah, dude, The Last Stand,
did you enjoy Magneto becoming a pun machine throughout the movie?
No, it kind of bothered me. Like,
it's very always wanted to build bridges.
Yeah, it's just so generic. Like, and specifically, it's like what was supposed to be the conclusion to that trilogy. I don't know what they were trying to do. A lot of good ideas, just executed very mediocrely. Dude, I have to tell you right now, 2 things. Totally forgot Cyclops dies, like, within like the first 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgetting Cyclops died.
For some reason, I thought he always died at the battle. Like,
at the end on Alcatraz.
Yeah, completely forgot. Also, once I got to this film, tell me why I sat there and I'm like, oh my god, Beast is only in this one. I went through like a whole existential crisis. I legitimately forgot like that he was not in the first two, and I'm like, no, he had to have been.
But I've been there with you, because at one point I also thought he was in more, and then I realized I'm mixing my blue people up. I'm thinking Nightcrawler in this, who is also only in the second one. He's not in any of the others,
which is insane. But yeah,
and I mean, like, Nightcrawler, Alan Cummings Nightcrawler, not the Nightcrawler that comes in the prequel ones. I'm specifically talking about the
Alan Cummings is so fucking cool. I love Nightcrawler. But yeah, that's where I put that one. Then up next, not that high up, A Family Affair. I had to see how bad it was.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. This is again another generic one that I watched with my wife, and we both agreed like a 3 out of 5, a C-. Like, it's fun. You've seen it before. You know where it's going to end. You've
seen it better.
But I think the reason I'm a little bit probably more higher than you are, Ren, I really like Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron actually in this. I actually think they have really good chemistry. And I think when it comes to Zac Efron, he does a lot of shit. Like you said, for every Iron Claw, there's a Ricky Stenicki. For every Iron Claw, there has to be another shitty movie, and it's Family Affair. And I just like watching him. Like, he's such a good performer. But this movie should have ended within the first 20 minutes, and he should have been canceled like immediately.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sorry. He's a horrible person throughout the movie. That's the not Zac Efron, the character he's playing.
Yeah, Chris Cole.
This is the most generic name I've ever heard.
Very generic. But after this, we have, I might get blasphemy for this, Beverly Hills Cop. I thought it was decent. It was good. Mm-hmm. I wasn't blown away by it, though.
Yeah, me neither.
And I don't know if I will go and watch 2 and 3. I think I might just skip to Axel Foley.
Do not skip 2, because 2 is directed by Tony Scott. I've not seen it yet, but I definitely want to see it. I will probably skip 3, not just because I've heard it's really bad, but it's directed by John Landis. And morally, I have an issue with watching any movie that guy has made. So
fair enough. So what do you think? Did you overall like it? Did you think it was a little
overrated? I liked it overall. I thought it was fine. But it's like, what I take away from the movie is, this, I can see why this made Eddie Murphy a star. Anything else about the movie, it's completely fine. It's very like, I love that these were the movies that were being made at the time. Like, I wish we still had more movies like this, like Grounded. But it is simple to a fault. It's like, okay, what is the plot of Beverly Hills Cop? Well, this guy gets murdered and his friend goes to take revenge, and it takes a whole movie for him to take revenge, even though 5 minutes into it, you know exactly who the fucking bad guy is. But Mike from Breaking Bad is in it.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, dang, he young. The other cool thing was the hotel he goes and stays at was where I went and stayed at this last January.
No way.
Yeah. So it was cool because now anytime I watch a movie, there's so many movies that have been filmed there. So Oppenheimer was filmed there. There's a scene of him and Matt Damon walking out from like a meeting, and they walk out through the lobby, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking.
That makes a lot of sense. That a lot of movies,
dude. There's so many. The main lobby room, like where the lobby actually is now, Ghostbusters. That's where they fight a Slimer.
Oh yeah,
Slimer for the first time. So it was a really cool place to stay. I wouldn't stay there. Well, maybe I would. But it just it was really hot in our room. That's why I was just too lazy. I didn't want to.
Eddie Murphy is an asshole to any customer service person in this movie, by the way.
Oh yeah, he is.
He only gets by because he's Eddie Murphy, but he is an asshole.
Yeah, so I dug it. I liked it. Yeah, I'm curious to see how the rest of them go. Up next, Maxine. Again, I liked it more than most, but I still like X the most personally. I think my whole thing with Maxine is it's very more style than substance in terms of like the story. It's very predictable.
There's no substance.
Yeah, I really think they should have, because they try to like build up who's the killer. You know who the killer is
From the first scene, from the first moment the movie starts. Like, oh, this.
Yeah, they should have indicated exactly who it was from the start.
Yeah.
Not made it a mystery, and I would have dove in to that cult stuff a little bit more because that was prevalent during that time.
Yeah.
I think that would have been smarter to dive into, and that she's coming to like, should I? Like, there's so many ideas that they could have done with that, with the acting. That's like the one thing that frustrated me. But it's enjoyable. It's entertaining. I liked it. She does something with heels very early on in this movie that made every man in my theater shriek.
God damn it.
The guy in front of me jumped out of his seat and goes, "Oh!"
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
Everyone in my screening was the same.
Yeah. And it was funny. I blinked when it happened. And so then I'm like, oh, like it took me a second to register what happened. Yeah, it took me a second to literally register with what had just happened. And I was like,
I knew immediately what was going to happen. I was like, let me look away. Fuck.
Yeah, but my number one movie of the week, Hitman. Rewatched it with my parents. They really liked it. I liked it a little bit more. There you go. That's our weekly ranking. So, all right, Ren. Let's jump into the comment section.
Let's go. And we're starting with Eric Thorpe.
All right.
Number one this week is House of the Dragon, which I forgot to rank. That would
Real
be my
fast.
number one overall.
Speaking on that, this week's very big.
Okay.
Very big. Do not go on social media by the time it comes out.
I have a free day, so that's the first thing I'm watching in the morning.
I will say, do not even hop on Twitter. Just watch it the second you wake up. It is a massive episode. It is a really great episode. But everyone was telling me that beforehand because I'm going to be honest, I was getting a little lazy this week, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get time to watch it before the screener expires. And Sharonda calls me and she goes, "Have you watched it yet?" I said, "No." She goes, "You need to watch it." She calls me again yesterday. She goes, "Have you watched it?" I said, "No." And she goes, "You need to watch this." So I had like just a little bit more time, finally watched it, and I called her right back and I said, "Thank you for letting me know. This is a major episode. So stay off social media by the time this one comes out." So
all right. So number one, House of the Dragon. Number two, The Boys, episode 5 of the season. Number 3, Invincible. Number 4, A Quiet Place, Day 1. I would certainly put that one ahead of Invincible, personally. Number 5, Beverly Hills Cop. And number 6, Beverly Hills Cop 2. So there you go. Clearly, I got word from a friend that 2 is better, but she said it herself. I'm in the minority.
Okay.
Number 6, Scott. Number 6, Bombshell. Number 5, The Suicide Squad. Number 4, Jaws. Number 3, House of the Dragon. Number 2, Swamp Thing. And number 1, Rush Hour 2. That is wild. That is my least favorite Rush Hour.
Can I tell? What's your favorite one? One?
It's probably 1. Like, I have a soft spot for 3. Not that it is the best movie, but by the way,
why is 3 your soft spot?
Hiroyuki Sanada is in it. That was the only one I watched in a cinema.
Because most people hate 3. Right?
I know, but it has the best fucking scene in the franchise.
Can I tell you something? I think 3 is my favorite. Now,
there you go.
The reason being, it was the first one I ever saw. So
there you go. Same.
It was just like such nostalgia to it. I was like, this is so fucking cool. Then I went back and watched the other ones, and I think they're funny. But yeah that third one, perfect.
The scene in the dojo. Who are you? I'm you. Not me, you.
My Blu-ray cover for that's really cool. Where is it? You can keep going. I want to.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Tony Movie Chappie. Number 4, Despicable Me 4. Number 3, A Quiet Place Day 1. Number 3, The Neon Demon. I need to fucking rewatch this movie because it's so fucking good. Number 1, Maxine. Next up, last one, Luis Feliciano. Show me that cover. Oh, did you find it?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Luis Feliciano, Despicable Me 3, Despicable Me, number 5, Despicable Me 3, number 4, Despicable Me 2, number 3, Minions 2, number 1, Despicable Me 1. We discussed, for us, the number 2 is the best one. I need to rewatch 3. I don't remember what I felt about it at this point. I think I reviewed it, though. I think I should have a video for it. All right, and that is it for our weekly rankings. Thank you so much to everyone who shared yours. You want to move on to the main topic?
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. All right, so we're finally coming up. Who's coming back for Deadpool and Wolverine? I know we've done this topic, but now we're 3 weeks out, and I want to kind of discuss a little bit more. And also, I think we can just discuss too, like, what do we hope to see from this movie? What do we want from this movie is like our final conclusion leading into this. So, Ren, I think it's just safe to go back and forth on who we think's coming back. Then we'll kind of dive into maybe why we think some people aren't showing up that other people might think are showing up in this. Yeah. And then last but not least, we'll end our conclusion on what do we mostly just want from this film. So throw it out there, man. First person you think's coming back.
Chris Evans as Human Torch. I'm going to start with the easy one.
Yeah, I think I fully agree with you. I wasn't at first. Like, if you asked me 6 months ago, I think I would have been like, I think so, but I don't know. I've actually leaned more heavily on the chance of, I think he's in this, and I think it's not just a quick jab. I actually think he's in it a little bit more than I expect. So,
okay,
I'm putting it right there with you.
Right.
Next one I got, Channing Tatum's Gambit. I think this is going to be a huge crowd pleaser. I really hope he's in this. I want this. Do you agree or no?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see it, especially if they spend the money to give him the full costume, because I want to see a comic book accurate Gambit costume in live action.
I personally think it's a wasted opportunity if they don't have him in this.
Yeah,
that's just me. Like, this is the place you put him in, not Secret Wars. Like, you put him in this for a fun little gag, and he's friends with all of them too.
And if anything, you only put him in Secret Wars if he's in here. You don't introduce him in Secret Wars because he's not going to be the Gambit in the MCU. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the place to do it. Next up for you, man.
Patrick Stewart as Professor X.
I'm not sold on that one.
I think it's one of those obvious ones. Like, of course it happens. Even if it's literally 1 minute or like in a I don't know, in an alternate universe as they're hopping around like, oh shit, there's Professor X, hello, bye, and they jump to another, something like that. But it just feels so obvious that they use him because he always fucking comes back.
I agree. Next one, this one's obvious, so we'll get it out of the way. Jennifer Garner as Elektra is in this. They've already said she's in this. It's obvious. All right,
I'm trying to avoid the ones we know / have seen.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw a wild one. You just
got a super chat. Do we want to talk about that?
Let me just drop this name, and absolutely we'll get that super chat because it's very interesting. Tobey Maguire.
I know. I can't go with you on that. No. I really I would love for it to happen. Secret Wars, though. Or one of the future Avenger films. Him and Garfield come back. It will happen. No matter, like, we're gonna get
Toby. Here, I just mean Toby. I don't think Andrew shows up.
No. I think that moment will be Jackman, Toby.
I think you are right, by the way. I think there's more of a chance he doesn't show up in this than he does. I want to see it.
All right. Next thing I have. Now, this is not, I'm going to say this is not for any of the actors. Okay. But it is a jab at it. Fantastic Four stick. I think we either see the dead skeleton of the suits or something, and Deadpool makes a quick joke out of it.
Yeah.
Or it's there, or it's just there. Or maybe some of the Emma, what's her name? What's her villain name? What's the villain's name? Cassandra Nova. Maybe Cassandra Nova, some of her crew was wearing their outfits, they just found them in the void. I think that would be pretty cool.
All right, Luis Feliciano has a great question, and thank you so much for the super chat, Luis. Which Hulk in Deadpool 3? Eric Bana, Edward Norton, Mark Ruffalo? So, I'm going to put it this way. I don't think we get a Hulk in Deadpool 3. If we get a Hulk, I'm going to give you a ranking. If we get a Hulk, I think the most likely one is Mark Ruffalo. Second most likely is Eric Bana. Third most likely, aka 0.0000001% chance he does show up, Edward Norton. But it would be fun not only to see one of them, but to see all three of them, maybe. That would be really fun to see all the Hulk designs standing there. But yeah, if any of them shows up, I think it would be Mark Ruffalo and none of the others. I just think that if anything, Eric Bana has a better chance than Edward Norton. What about you?
I think this is I don't think we see any of them. But I do think we get a Hulk. I think it's going to be a quick thing. And I think that's it. And if we're talking about which Hulk variant or version is it, it'll probably be Mark Ruffalo's, just because that's the one they've already visual effects. They just have to move the asset. You know what I mean? Like,
what I'd love to see? And on one hand, it feels right that they would do that in a Deadpool movie. At the same time, it also feels like they wouldn't like pull that trigger in a Deadpool movie. It's Mark Ruffalo, but we see him in an alternate dimension where he's Grey Hulk, Mr. Fix-It Hulk.
That would be
cool. The scene we get in the casino where we get a Wolverine from the back.
Yeah.
What if the guy who's running that casino is Mr. Fix-It?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then imagine if that's not Jackman as Patch. Imagine if it's a Daniel Radcliffe, a Taron Egerton, a Henry Cavill, a Carl Urban, all the fucking names that are thrown out there. I would love that. The other one I was going to say is, you know who would work so good in the Void? Maestro.
Oh my God.
They're not going to do it though. You don't do it here. You do it in Secret Wars.
Exactly. I don't want to see it because if we get Maestro, he needs to be the villain of your story.
Yeah.
Like you don't waste Maestro.
Maybe he should have been the villain of this story.
Maybe we won't. Maybe he's the secret villain. Maybe Cassandra Nova is a red herring, which I don't think she is. I don't think you should.
Maybe he ends up being the main villain for Secret Wars. Maybe Kang isn't like. Maybe they swap out Doom and make him the.
We're all thinking, if it's not Kang, if it's not Kang, it's Doctor Doom. Maybe it's Maestro. Yeah,
I'd be low-key, and I think I'd be okay with that. Like that would be cool, and it would give Hulk something to do. So,
and it would like bring the prestige of the character back.
Yeah,
in a certain
I kind of want it.
Yeah,
Kevin Feige, hire us.
Hire us. I'm waiting, man. You already stole my pitch for Ant-Man 3. You made it worse, but you stole my pitch.
Yeah. I think it was my turn next.
I
can't remember. But I'm gonna go Cyclops, James Marsden. I think that's should we just say Cyclops, Storm, and are we gonna go say Jean Grey?
Storm, we know she's showing up.
Do we? I don't know.
I do.
Okay, cool. I mean, I would hope she is. But Cyclops is there, right? You bring back those original three.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think Jean Grey is too?
If Famke Janssen comes back, I think we get Jean Grey. We don't get Phoenix, but I think we get Jean Grey.
I have to imagine them all three. Who else do you think from that original series?
I mean,
I know we know other ones like Lady Deathstrike, but it's not the same actress.
Yeah.
The Juggernaut's in the background, not the same background. Tyler Maine's back. Pyro.
Exactly.
But like, do we have anyone else?
We just got Kelsey Grammer back as Beast.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think Kelsey comes back, but they just do the CGI version of him?
I think we have a better shot having seen him in the Marvels than we would have if he wasn't in the Marvels.
Yeah.
For all we know, as they're universe hopping, they land on the universe Monica is in.
Maybe. Yeah.
Who knows?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. You have another one?
Next one. Let me just see on my notes. Rebecca Romaine's Mystique.
I want to say yes because I love her so much as Mystique. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening.
You think we don't get Mystique, or if we do, it's Jennifer Lawrence?
I don't think we get a Mystique at all.
Okay.
I really hope we would, but I don't think so. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think so. I really hope so though, but I'm not gonna hold out my breath. But speaking of another X-Men, X-23. I was actually not for Daphne Keane being in this, but I think the more and more we get closer, the more and more I'm convincing. I'm like literally looking at an old list I did in January, and I have Daphne Keane as not showing up. Now I'm like, yeah,
because she was busy with the Acolyte, but I guess she's not busy anymore. Without spoiling anything.
No, bro. I forgot to tell you. So Cynthia started watching it. I think she's only on episode 2. But she walks in on me watching it on the new episode, and she sees the dead bodies.
Oh no!
She goes, "Oh, okay." And those are her 2 favorites, dude. I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, they're just sleeping.
Another suggestion from Luis Feliciano: Madam Web shows up, and she tells Deadpool the future. How he's gonna be in Secret Wars.
Don't count out a joke, though. Don't count.
Oh, I'm not counting out jokes. I just think we see Dakota Johnson showing.
Yeah. I mean,
or Sydney Sweeney, or Isabella Merced, or Celeste O'Connor.
Morbius has a better chance of showing up in here, and then getting beheaded by Wesley Snipes' blade.
Ooh, do we get Wesley Snipes' blade?
That's what I was going to tell you. I was not for this. And there's no proof to this. There's no validity. I will just say I have heard he's in it. I have heard he's in it. So I'm going to say he's in it. Someone I trust said that he's in it. So I'm going to go with that. But again, I don't know.
I have not heard anything. This isn't one of those that I'm like, oh, yes, I want to see that. But I can see it happening. And it'll be cool. It's not like I'm against it either.
But for me, I didn't think he was going to be in this. A lot of reason. Him and Halle Berry do not have a good past. Neither does him and Ryan Reynolds. They hate each other.
Yeah.
At least
during the Ryan Reynolds one I remember. Yeah.
So that's why I thought this wasn't going to happen. But again, it's been like fucking 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like
people change.
Yeah. I mean,
hopefully.
Fucked up what he did to Barry. I mean, you guys can go look up that stuff on your own. But again, like not very interesting. All right. Next one for you. I guess I said the blade thing.
We're starting to run out of names that we think are showing up. So let's restrain our search. MCU specific cameos.
Oh, okay.
People from the MCU playing their characters.
There's one I cannot say, but I know. Do you want to know?
I don't want to know, but let me ask you this, because it might be related. Okay. So I have one of my friends here. He's going to Comic-Con. He read the description of the 30, 40 minutes that were shown.
Okay.
And he said that was a specific thing that he thought would be very exciting for me specifically.
If it's in the first 30 to 40, it's not what I'm thinking. So you can say it. I mean, I won't.
No. I haven't asked him.
Oh, okay.
In those 40 minutes, like near the end of those 40 minutes, there's something there that he told me, like, you specifically are going to be very interested in this.
Oh, okay. The thing I know.
Okay. You've told me that. Yeah. So we're not going to mention that. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to mention that.
So who's your prediction for that first 30?
My prediction is perhaps an obvious one.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Loki.
Oh, okay. I was not for him in this, but maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It would make sense. I mean, someone from that area
Owen
has
Wilson,
to show. It can't just be McFadden. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to grab that super chat.
Yeah. Luis Luciano with another super chat. Thank you so much, Luis. This is incredible support. I've been hearing about Zombie Wolverine. Do you think they will go into the zombie-verse from What If? Do I think they'll go into the zombie-verse? For a quick second, I can see it. I don't think that they're going to suddenly turn into animation from What If. But I think there's a chance. It's not the most exciting prospect for me personally. Of all the universes they can jump into and out of, going into the zombie verse, it's not a particularly exciting one. Again, for me. But I can see it happening, depending on what they want to do with it. Like what the idea would be. Is it like a joke where Wolverine is a zombie? Like if you stay, you'll turn out that way, or I don't know, something like that. What do you think, Zach?
I know from the first 30, 40 minutes. I have a general gist of the first 30 to 40 minutes of the film. So I don't. Okay. I think they're doing something with this, but I don't want to say how I think they're doing it. I don't think it's a big thing, though. Again, quick 30-second thing, if anything. Not like they're going to sit in the universe forever. I think it is a quick 30, 40 minute thing, or 34, quick 30-second minute thing. And that's about it.
What other MCU cameo do you think we get?
It's tough. I wanted to say Downey, but I just don't think he had the time to do it because of Oppenheimer's like award press. I think he would have done it. I will be honest with you. I really do think they would have had him in here in some capacity. I'm gonna say no Chris Hemsworth, so not Chris.
And he already shows up on screen.
On
the screen. So technically, he's already in the movie, and we know he is.
I'm like trying to think who would. You know what? I'm gonna just throw a wild card. I don't think it's gonna happen, but maybe I'll manifest it. Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna throw a wild card as well, just because we see iconography connected to this character, and his movies have established how dangerous it is, and the Loki series has established how dangerous it is to universe hop Doctor Strange and or Wong. I can see both of either. If Clay shows up, she shows up with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
We saw them; they went off together.
Which I'm just going to say, Charlize Theron in a Deadpool movie, her comedic timing would be so good in it. Would be so good in it, no matter what character she was playing. She's such an I love Charlize so much.
She is amazing.
But okay, I have another one.
Okay,
Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. Why? When? Who? I don't know. But quick thing, I can see it.
They hop into his office. He's not expecting this. Motherfuck! And they jump into another universe.
Yeah.
That's
something just like that.
If he's in it, that's all I can see happening.
Okay. So here's can I give one final prediction? Because this has just been my prediction for a long time. I know,
and I will give my final one.
Okay. After. And then we'll give our final thoughts of what we want to see. So here's my thing. I know what I've heard about what one of the end credit scenes is, but I have to imagine there's at least one more.
Yeah.
This is the one that I want to see. And this is what it does negate the other one. Ooh. But I think I like this one more. And maybe it's because I'm manifesting it. I would love if by the end of this film, Deadpool and Wolverine go into the MCU for legitimately. Like they find their way there.
Mm-hmm.
And when they come in, they are surrounded by the new Avengers. Captain America, Captain Marvel, Shuri, whoever the fuck is in this list. And that's how it ends. They're like, who the fuck are these guys? You know what I mean? And that's how it ends. And that leads us into Brave New World, which maybe by the end of that film, we see him put together that Avengers team, or by the end credit scene, he puts it together. And then it leads us into the next Avengers, where those two are a centerpiece for it. Whether they're staying, whether they're not, it doesn't matter. They are in that world. I think that it does what the MCU love to do in the first three phases. Tease what is coming next. It could even be the Thunderbolts, for all I give a shit. And they were filming it too. So they had that team already together.
And you know who's a member of the Thunderbolts at one point in the comics?
Is it
Deadpool?
Yeah, I was about to say Deadpool. So Wolverine wasn't, right? He never joined him.
I think he was at one point. He wasn't in the Deadpool team though. The Deadpool team was Deadpool, Elektra, Red Hulk was leader.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Punisher, and that's it. And Blade.
Yeah. So who says they don't pop in and Val's the first one to find him, and it's the
Although I think the MCU lineup of Thunderbolts would be pretty much fucked against Wolverine and Deadpool.
Oh, I agree. Oh, unless they have Sentry, but
Yeah,
what if he's guiding over them?
yeah.
So, but again, that's what I would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it does contradict the ending that I've heard, but
I'm not gonna suggest a mid-credit scene. I'm not gonna suggest anything where I want this movie to end. Of all the cameos we're getting, please, Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
And I mean the first one, not the second one where the skeleton is all charred up and black. I mean actual Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for that film. I think that film is a ton of fun. Flawed.
If he's not in this, dude, they'll bring him back for Secret.
I think so?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Nicolas Cage, man. It's Nicolas Cage. Like, he's such a name now. But yeah, I think so.
Bring him in as Longlegs. I don't care.
And for all we know, it's just the Ghost Rider and Nicolas Cage doing the voice. So he was able to do it. Yeah, like he didn't have to be on set. So who knows? All right. So last thing, what do you want from this film, man? In the end of the day, how do you what do you are going into this? Like, just you're obviously going to leave your expectations at the door,
as always.
But what do you want from it?
After the discussion we've been having in this episode, it may come across like we want this to be a cameo fest and nothing else. I want this to have a balance between what it's offering in terms of laughs, in terms of winks, in terms of tongue-in-cheek jokes and references and cameos. I wanted to have a story for Deadpool, for it to have weight, and Wolverine, obviously. But it's Deadpool. He is the title character. The trilogy is his. Wolverine is just in this one. And I want, obviously, for them both to have an arc, a story, something that matters. But I wanted to have meaning that Deadpool, within the story, Deadpool is coming into the MCU. Like, I have to leave. I want to feel that weight. If what we're speculating that he needs to come to the MCU, he needs to leave all his friends behind: Cyclops, Negasonic, Yukio, Dopinder, Blind Owl, Vanessa. I want to feel that weight. And I want to understand, like, why are you accepting to leave these people behind instead of, all right, I'll die with them? Because without knowing what's going to happen in this film, that's probably what I choose. Like, I'll fucking die with the people I love. That I don't care about going to another universe.
And
so
I think
want to feel that
he
way.
would too.
Exactly.
So, and that's what I can get from the general gist of the first trailer is that he is forced to do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
But he's getting this opportunity to go and work with a Wolverine, which they're probably going to give him the shittiest variants of Wolverine that they possibly can to accomplish whatever they're having to do. And then something happens that they end up in the void. And maybe that is the point. Maybe they're like they are forced to go into the void to clean it up.
Maybe Wolverine is in the void. That's where he finds him.
Yeah, possibility. So for me, what I want from this, and so for people who maybe first time viewing, Deadpool is like top 5 favorite comic book films for me. I've seen that film so many times. And the second film I like, but I never loved. And every time I've gone back to it, I've liked it less. And I think a lot of that is Vanessa. I like what they did with her, but it always left a bad taste in my mouth that A, they killed her off so fast, but B, then they brought her back in the credit scene, So it's like you wiped away everything that they were working for him to move on without her.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool and Wolverine, though, I don't expect her to be a main character. I will say, I know all the rumors point to Blake Lively voicing Lady Deadpool. I think it would be smarter to have Vanessa at this point play Lady Deadpool in the void and as a variant. But like you said it perfectly. Why is he not staying behind to die with his friends? That is something Wade Wilson would do. That is something Deadpool would do. Maybe it's already happened and he didn't die. Maybe
he already knows that, but the cycle repeats itself, and to end it, he needs to go to the MCU or something. I don't know.
And that might be it. Maybe the TVA says, this is your path.
Yeah.
Every time.
Make it a dark situation or something. And I don't mean dark as in tone. I mean dark as in the TV show dark.
Which it does show up. It does show up in like in the second one. He doesn't want to be alone. That's a big piece of him. Deadpool does not want to be alone. So who says the TVA doesn't show him? In this branch, if you were to stay, Cassandra Nova comes, kills everyone, kills the whole population, but you still survive. You eventually regenerate back, and you are the only person left on this world. And that's it. Like, he's just left to wander by himself. And then they tell him, if you come with us, you have a chance to go and kill this person. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be. And I think that would sell me. And then maybe, for all we know, maybe she becomes the villain of Secret Wars. Maybe she is like the next big lead. They've talked so much about her. And I think in one of the interviews, Kevin Feige even said, she's awesome. Like, she's great. So it'd be cool. I don't know. I just want a great movie that shows me why Hugh Jackman had to come back.
Yeah, I agree.
So other than that, man, leave your thoughts down below. I know Luis Feliciano sent another super chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you think the Illuminati will come from Multiverse?
I don't see it. Not here, and not the Illuminati we already know. I'll put it that way.
I agree. I think, you know what? I'll say this. I think they do show up in this. They're already in the void. That world's gone. And it's the new Illuminati. It's a Sue Storm. It's I don't know who fucking lived. Baron Mordo. He lived, right? He didn't die.
I believe so. We didn't see him die, so he didn't die.
Yeah. Maybe someone stitched back together Captain Britain or fucking Captain Carter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. So,
all right,
man. Let's jump into the viewer questions.
All right, and we start with, this is for me, so I'm gonna get it started. Let me just open in the bank. There we go. And we start with Andrew Seif, who asks, Ren, Money in the Bank is tonight, which I'll be attending live. You bastard. I hate you so much right now.
Where's it at?
Toronto.
Toronto, okay.
Yeah. What are your predictions on the matches, and which ones are you looking forward to the most? Looking forward to the most, obviously, Cody's match will always be the one I'm looking forward to the most. Money in the Bank matches are always fun, but I really want to see Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. I'm very curious about how that turns out. Predictions. I'm picking Jey Uso to win the men's Money in the Bank match. I'm picking Chelsea Green to win the women's Money in the Bank match. I'm picking Damian Priest to retain his championship. I am going to go logical instead of going with my heart and pick Braun Breaker to win the Intercontinental Championship. And then I'm going to pick the Bloodline to win the main event. The main event is the World Heavyweight Championship. So the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. I'm picking the Bloodline because, number one, they need a win, especially after that promo last night from Solo Sikoa. Number two, this is Jacob Fatu's debut match. And if you've seen that motherfucker, he's insane. You need to put that guy over. And also, probably Roman is coming back. So you need the Bloodline to have this moment of triumph and victory. And, oh shit, these guys just won. We're all going to be in trouble. And then Roman's music hits. So yeah. But enjoy, Andrew. I envy you immensely. It's going to be a fantastic show, I'm sure. And then tomorrow you have NXT Heatwave as well. All right, what's next?
Thoughts on Emma Roberts said about Madam Web possibly being better if everyone didn't meme about it.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I thought it was the dumbest comment I've ever read.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, but you were in a shitty movie. If the movie was memeable from the trailer, but then everyone went and saw the movie and was like, damn, this is fucking incredible, then people wouldn't continue to meme about it and joke about it.
Do you know how many memes weekly the internet makes of The Boys?
The Boys,
Do you know how much the internet fucking loves The Boys? So
the memes, and not even just The Boys.
No, it was just a practical example.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
everything. Everyone makes The fucking debate. Well, the debate was a joke. The debate was a joke. But people made jokes about it, you know what I mean? Same thing goes for House of Dragons. I feel like there's always, no matter what it is, there is a meme about it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Even I'm gonna play devil's advocate because you all know how I feel about this movie. But look at when Thor: Love and Thunder came out. Look at all the memes that were mocking it. Look how much money it made. So it wasn't the memes, Emma Roberts. You were just in a shitty movie. And apparently you are in another shitty movie right now on Amazon, which I'm not wasting my time with.
Oh, that one's shitty. Dude,
I was supposed
to do the junket for it, but then when they sent me the date, I was like, I can't do that. And then I was like, never even heard of this movie. And then I was like, probably a good reason. All
right.
I have thoughts on this next one. I have major thoughts on this next one.
Thoughts on the Arkham Asylum series. Sorry, Lady Aaron asks, thoughts on Arkham Asylum series no longer moving forward. You go first, sir.
All right. This is why I like discussing films for some things and I don't like them for other things. Mm-hmm. This is the reason for why. If you read the article, it is not moving forward. It's being restructured into the DCU, which we fucking knew about 5-6 months ago when James Gunn said that. This is not new news. This isn't new anything. This is something we already knew was being worked on in the DCU. Now, this article specifically was just a random article. Like, it didn't add anything new. Like, it was like a last bit of thing at the end. So, Arkham Asylum is still moving forward, just not in the Batman universe. Yeah, which I'm okay with. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if it did get canceled for the DCU, we don't fucking need it. We don't need it. I'll put it this way. James Gunn is looking at everything and saying, how will this thing connect to the next?
Mm-hmm.
Superman has a Green Lantern in it. Cool. We're doing a Green Lantern show. I guarantee Guy Gardner's in that fucking show in some capacity. Whether it's the comedic relief or the person that is signed, he is in that show. You know who else is probably in Superman? Millie Alcock. What's coming after Superman? Supergirl. Sure, someone will be introduced in there. Oh, Lobo is rumored to be in there.
The main man.
Okay. Yeah. So, again, Arkham Asylum, it's not moving forward. I don't think this really matters. Am I still at the point where part of me wouldn't be shook if the Pattinson movie got canned? No. Part of me, I don't know. But I'm happy. As Eric Thorpe just said in the comments, I do think Arkham Asylum would have been more interesting in the Batman universe. Completely agree. I do too, to a certain degree, but how much can you actually do with it? Where it's not
yes and no, because I wouldn't want all those iconic villains in that version of the Batman to be introduced in a TV show.
Yeah.
I want to see them from the first time in the spotlight.
The way I think this works best is you do it as an animated show, maybe. And you have
you introduce
basically. I'm so excited for that. For that. Way more than I should be, but any more thoughts from you? I'm just
no, because there are no thoughts to have. It's just they're restructuring it to fit into what we already knew they wanted it to fit into. So there's not really news or anything that changes my perspective on it. The perspective that I already had beyond that.
Yeah.
So, your turn.
All right. Thoughts on the rumor of Damien Chazelle's next movie possibly starting production in October and the movie possibly getting released in 2025. This rumor ends up being true. I'm going to be very excited, and I had to ask this question too.
I don't care. I don't like Damien Chazelle movies.
Yeah, he was a dick to Ren, so now we're over him. Just kidding. That is
he was super nice, and I love Damien Chazelle movies. Yeah, I mean, not many thoughts here, just exciting. Hopefully, it also premieres at the Venice Film Festival 2025, and hopefully this time people appreciate it and go see it in the cinema, and don't let it flop, unless it's bad. He's never made a bad movie or anything near a bad movie, but yeah. Do you have any thoughts? Real ones this time.
Tell me what he's making, tell me who is in it, and then I'll probably get more excited. As of right
Who
now,
do you want to see him working with? Let's assume he's going to work with. Let's assume an actor and an actress he's not worked with before.
Oh, damn it, not worked with before. I was gonna say give Tobey Maguire a bigger role, but
Tobey Maguire can, because I mean, like, on the lead
okay.
capacity.
But for the fun part of it, I'll go different. I don't know what he's doing. We don't know what this is at all, right? I didn't miss that. Like, he didn't say if it was a musical.
As far as I've seen, we don't know.
I'm gonna just say Jake Gyllenhaal.
Ooh.
Okay, and I'm not just saying this because they've worked together before, but Anne Hathaway. I'd love to see her in a Damien Chazelle
film. I would love to see Anne Hathaway in a Chazelle film.
Yeah.
That is very, very good.
I know they were in that Sex and Love and Other Drugs and stuff, which they have really good chemistry in.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see this.
I don't necessarily mean I want to see them together, even though I'd be curious to see it for sure, because it's Damien Chazelle and it's these two people I love. But I'm going to give you two names. Zendaya.
Love that.
Tom Hiddleston.
Love that. Love that. Love that.
I
had one more random thought, and maybe it's because the next question's about Beetlejuice, but I was gonna say Michael Keaton.
He works. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure. I can imagine him in. Obviously, my mind is trailing off in this direction, but I could see him in a Damien Chazelle movie in a kind of J.K. Simmons in Whiplash kind of thing.
Yep. Yeah. Now, just one more. What genre do you want to see him play in?
I'm curious to see one day Damien Chazelle do action.
And he has that script. He has that script out there.
I don't think right now his next movie after Babylon, I don't think that's the movie where you challenge yourself.
It's going to be very small.
Yeah.
It's going to be smaller.
So a drama, maybe a contained thriller would be interesting. Let
me see if there's any more details for it. You go to the next question. I'll let you know.
Lady Aaron also asks, Ren, thoughts on Beetlejuice 2 being the opening film at the Venice Film Festival this year? Is this a little bit of a surprise from what it's usually known for? From what it's usually known for when it comes to the opening film, or has nothing to do with the opening film specifically, it's just a strange fit for the festival. And I was never excited for Beetlejuice 2. I was always curious about it. I've seen the first one. I enjoy it. I think it's one of the better Tim Burton movies. Am I walking into the Venice Film Festival going, I cannot fucking wait to see Beetlejuice 2 at the Venice Film Festival? That's not what I'm thinking. I wish there was something like more exciting that I would see so ahead of time that, like, guys, you haven't heard of this movie, but pay attention to it. Everyone's already paying attention to Beetlejuice 2. You know what? I wanted the opening movie to be something like last year when I went to see this little movie I had no idea what it was, called Hitman. And then I fucking told everyone for 9 months. It's like Hitman was my baby. Like, pay attention to this movie. It's going to be spectacular. And now the entire world is loving it, as they should. So yeah, I'll be there. I am booking my seats. I am for sure going to watch Beetlejuice. It's just not the thing that excites me the most. So
found it. Found it.
All right. What do we got?
So it is a mid-budget drama with action elements set in a prison.
Ooh, okay.
That's all. That came right after CinemaCon when it was announced earlier this year that it was officially happening, but now we have an actual date. That's it. That's it. All we knew is his next film was going to take place in a prison.
If you guys have never seen Grand Piano starring Elijah Wood, it's not directed by him, but it is written by Damien Chazelle. It's a really great contained thriller. Go watch it, and you can see how Damien Chazelle could pull off a thriller. I am very happy that the next question actually landed for you to read it out. And you'll understand why in a second. So what's next?
Thoughts on Wicked moving up? It's a release date.
Oh.
Dumb idea with it going up against Gladiator 2 when they both release in theaters on the same day. And which one will you watch first?
Thank God, that wasn't the question I was thinking of.
Oh, sorry. That's how it is.
No. It's the question after that, actually.
Okay.
I am excited for both. Well, at the moment, I am more excited for Wicked, only because Ridley Scott has been, shall we put it in this way, he has not been
the House of Gucci.
Yeah, the House.
Let's just say that. Last Duel was awesome.
Last Duel was really good. The Martian was really good, but that was 2015. That was a long time ago. He has not been the most consistent director. And The Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's in my top 10. I never thought a sequel was necessary. I'm not a big fan of Paul Mescal. I'm a fan of literally everyone else in the film. The pictures look really fucking good. And even though this isn't the question, no, you know what? I'm gonna save it for the next question. So right now, curious about Gladiator 2, very excited for Wicked because I've seen the stage musical. Very excited to see how it comes to life. I'm going to see neither on release day because hopefully I will have seen both before release date.
But if you had to choose, which one?
If I had to choose...
And do you think it's smart that they moved up away from Moana?
Yes. Because there's a lot more crossover between the audiences for Moana and Wicked than there is between the audiences for Gladiator 2 and Wicked. If
I was Gladiator, I'd move.
I'm not contesting that. I think that they should do that as well. Despite what I said, I'm actually gonna go to Gladiator 2 first because Wicked is part 1. Also, like I said, I've seen the stage musical. I know what's gonna happen in Wicked. I have no idea what's happening. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening in Gladiator 2. So if I had to choose, if I don't get advanced screenings for either, like I'll have to go see Gladiator 2 first.
Me? What about you? I know someone who's seen both of these. The same person has seen both of these at a test screening.
Hang on, let me ask if it's this person. I bet it is.
No, it's not that person. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's they did them out here. So that's they loved both. Like phenomenally loved both. Very highly. But as you said, Wicked is a part 1.
Yeah.
So
just like Dune was, and Dune was amazing.
Yes. So I will say this. I would obviously go see Gladiator 2 first. Gladiator is my favorite Ridley Scott movie. I love that movie. And you guys know, if you've listened to me for a long time, and specifically on this podcast, I do not like a lot of I do not like a lot of Ridley Scott movies. I think he's a very overrated filmmaker. I think he needs to stop doing what he's doing half the time. Actually, I don't even know if he knows what he's doing half the time.
Certainly doesn't look like it in Napoleon.
But maybe this is his good day. Maybe this is his good couple of months of Gladiator 2. The pictures look awesome. I would have to go see Gladiator 2 first. I'm just more interested in that than Wicked.
Yeah,
I'm not huge on musicals. I like Wizard of Oz, but I'm going to see Wicked. I'm going to be interested in Wicked. I just don't. I'd rather see Gladiator. But Gladiator, you need to move. You need to move. Because let me tell you right now, Paramount, you going broke. Move it up. From what I understand, the film is almost done. Move it up. Premiered at a festival. That should be premiered
at the Venice Film Festival.
Over Beetlejuice.
It's in Italy. It's near Rome, where the movie takes place.
Maybe it's the closing film. Maybe they close it there.
Could be. I don't think it would be.
Don't they always have a weird movie there though? Like
hopefully
weird
it's
premiere?
Not the closing film because I'm not there until the last day. I leave 2 days before the end. Because usually in Venice, by the last 2 days, like the big movies that you want to see, they've already played.
So hopefully.
Dune, when the Dune Part 1 played there, it wasn't the closing film or anything.
That just seems like it would premiere there. Like it doesn't seem like it premiere at TIFF.
It does feel right, and if it's ready on time, who knows? They've only just announced Beetlejuice.
Joker's premiering at Venice too, though, right?
I don't believe it's been officially announced, but like I've seen the word of mouth from trustworthy, reliable sources.
I'm not gonna be able to go, but did the press applications open already for that? I'm asking for a friend. Okay, are they still open?
Yes, they closed in early August, I think.
Sharonda keeps telling me she wants to go to that, so I told her she needed to message you, but I need to remind her to do the press. So
and you need to come to the London Film Festival.
I know, man. That's the one I would rather go to out of all of them, since like you said, it's after. I know. You know why I can't go this year.
It's true. It's tight.
Dude, there's so much I want to do.
The timeline is fucking with us.
I had so much planned for like this and this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this one and I'm gonna do this one.
Nope.
Maybe next year.
But, all right, what's next?
No, but definitely London. That's the one. That's the one I want. Cynthia asked me the other day. She goes, "Would you rather go with Ren to Portugal and get to hang out with him, or go to the London Film Festival?" I said I'd rather go to Portugal with you and hang out with you, but I still think the London Film Festival would be fun. Which one do you think would be more fun?
It's a weird question, because when you're asking London, we're talking about the London Film Festival specifically. When you say going to Portugal, like what are we doing? Like I don't know. Go on a holiday, go down to Algarve, to the beach towns and all that. We'd have fun. I'd probably choose that as well.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's less stressful. It's like
it's just relaxing. It's just holidays.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
all right.
Man,
do you want to read the next question?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give a very fast answer.
And speaking of Gladiator 2, your thoughts on the first look photos that we got for Gladiator 2? If you've seen them, if you haven't seen them, are you waiting to be surprised by the looks when you watch the trailer for it? Trailer comes out July 9th. Oh, it does.
Pay attention to my Instagram and Twitter pages, because I might be attending a special event and see the trailer before anyone else does.
Cool. On Monday, I'm guessing?
On Tuesday, July 9th. Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, so before it comes out.
Yeah.
What time's your event?
It's at 9:45, finishes at 10 a.m. So it's like,
so that means
it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for you. So you won't be awake.
That means
but you'll see it all when you wake up.
They'll drop it at like 6 a.m. my time then. 6.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I don't know if I want to watch the trailer.
I don't know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I'm trying not to watch trailers more, but I was like, I need to watch more coverage.
Give yourself the leeway where you allow yourself to watch the first trailers for it.
Yeah,
and this is the first trailer, so you shouldn't need to worry too much.
True. It was
maybe
really
with the launch trailer, they'll announce it's releasing at the Venice Film Festival.
Yeah, maybe. This one's for me, so I'll just take it too. So Zach, how was your 4th of July this year? Did you do anything fun for the day, or not really? No, I mean, it was just chill. I didn't do much. My friend's AC went out, so they just came over and we just chilled. Played Mario Party. What else did I do? That's it. I don't think I did much. We made food. That's it. I had to work the next day, so it didn't matter to me. Next episode, with this being the episode 95 of This Week in Geek, we are only 5 episodes away from episode 100. Are you guys excited that we are inching ever closer to episode 100 of the show? Ren, I'll let you take that.
Okay. Yes, of course we're excited. And we're going to change the name of the show again. No, I'm kidding.
Is that what we did on the last one? Was it 100?
Yeah, it's episode 100.
I think we should change it then. I think that should be the joke. Do you know episodes. There's a podcast that does that. It's did you ever watch Rooster Teeth at all?
I know what it is, but I've never seen it.
Okay, so you don't know. Okay, so there's 2 guys on there named Jeff and Gavin. So every time they hit like a certain milestone, they're like, let's change the name. And they just they just changed what the podcast is about too.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, did they change?
Yeah. So like the last podcast, so that company just went under. So they legitimately had to change it this time because they didn't own the right. So it was originally called Fuckface, and then they changed it to something else.
Shitface.
Yeah. So I don't know. Should we change it? Should we have that conversation?
I don't know. I was just joking. I'm not really considering it, but
I think it's funny. think it's funny.
If we have an angle for the next version of whatever this show is, yeah, it could be fun.
Okay,
but
I mean, you're going on holiday and then I have Comic-Con. So
I'm going on holiday this next weekend. So this next weekend there won't be a show. Then you have Comic-Con.
I have Well, so you'll be gone the 13th, right?
I'll be gone the 13th.
Will you be back for the 20th?
I'll be back for the 20th.
I can do the 20th.
Okay, so regular show on the 20th. Then you have Comic-Con. So I'll host with someone else or alone. Then, and this is assuming I don't get work to interfere with a show.
So then August 3rd we come back for a normal show.
Yeah, August, and then
so
and then August we come
so
back.
As of right now,
probably
we don't do one next week.
Episode 100 probably right before I leave for Venice.
Okay, 98. Yeah, no. So we would probably end. So, okay, I think a good. You know what a good 100th show would be?
What?
If no big news has come out, we just talk about our favorite moments ever podcasting.
Yeah,
with each other.
I'm down with that.
And that can be from the original one to this one. So
every canon counts for this podcast.
Yeah.
Every timeline. All right.
I still wear my Geeks of the Round Table shirt.
Oh, yes. Let's wear that one for the final episode.
Okay.
Where do I have it?
I gotta find it again.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's in one of my drawers. Or if not, I have my coffee mug.
There you go. Same. Do I? Yeah. I know I have it. Here it is. Still available at TeePublic and Redbubble.com.
Hey.
Links in the description. There you go. All right. I'm going to keep it here. All right. Next question. Dimitri Scott, now that I decided to check out Swamp Thing on Tubi, do you think it got canceled way too soon? Is the show better than some other DC shows that continued? Yes and yes. Like, is it... I off the top of my head, I'm not going to list here what shows are not as good as Swamp Thing. But was it canceled way too soon? Yeah. It was canceled when the first episode came out. Like,
even before, right? I think like even right before.
Either right before or right as the first episode came out. Because I just remember really loving the first episode and then, we're just getting this season, I guess. Don't know what that's about.
It was a cool show. I liked it.
Feels like a very David Zaslav move, even though he wasn't in power at the time.
But honestly, I would rather just have whatever James Mangold's going to cook with his film.
100%. Just that at the time, that wasn't even a thing. Like the DCEU was still very much continuing at the time. Yeah. So
I still want Ron Perlman to play Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Like, or at least do the voice.
At
least the voice.
Yeah. I agree.
What do you like more, Swamp Thing or Man Thing?
Swamp Thing.
Okay, I agree.
I think Swamp Thing is the better character. Like
I own like 10 comics because of you. You said this is the one that James Gunn's going to base it on. So I bought all of them.
Good.
And then before that, I accidentally bought the wrong ones, but I was too lazy to return them, so I just kept them.
Okay. I mean, they're still Swamp Thing comics, so they should.
Yeah. They were still good from what I read.
All right. What's next?
Thoughts on more behind the scenes of James Gunn's Superman? Did you look at the set photos or no?
I've seen one or two, but I'm skipping by them. It's not like I'm searching. And
so let's not talk about it then. There was one thing I was going to say, but I don't know if you saw it, so I don't want to say it.
I've seen nothing that would be spoilery.
Did you see? How do I phrase this? There was something in a glass container, and he was
I saw that.
Is that chipped? Is that chip?
Everyone's speculating that. I think it's just a squirrel.
I hope it's Chip, and I hope Chris Pratt's voicing him.
I can see that.
Same.
If it is him, I can see that.
Same.
But isn't he supposedly voicing Crypto?
Yes. So he has to be voicing either Crypto, oh my god,
or Chip.
He's voicing another fucking character. I'm so over this, man. I mean, I get it. Like, you probably go into the studio fucking 2 hours and then get to go home with your kids. Like, I get it. Like,
all right. WC Scott, do you believe the Batman 2 will still move forward despite cancellation of the Arkham City? Number one, Arkham series is not canceled. Number two, absolutely. Why wouldn't it? I even if the Arkham series was canceled, I don't think the Batman Part 2 doesn't move forward because of it. If anything, if the Arkham series was still related to the Batman and the Batman Part 2 was canceled, I could see the show itself being canceled, but not the other way around. Zach?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. What's next?
Will either of you be reviewing the Penguin series on Max? Now, this is a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, do we know if it's week to week or if it's all at once?
It's got to be week to week. They never done a binge release.
If it is week to week, I might not.
Okay.
If it's all at once, or they give me all the screeners all at once, absolutely, I will be reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just very busy from September to October to November to December this year with work and other things. So I want to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I'll have the time.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you planning to do week to week if they give you screeners, or
essentially the same? Like if they give me screeners, it should be they just give you all the screeners and I'll review it. If I don't get screeners, it's gonna make it very complicated. It's like,
what if they give you week to week? Like, hey, you get it early Monday, it comes out.
If I get it early, there's still a chance I can do it because I'll find a off day.
If not, will you review it after it's all done?
Yeah, I will try at least. If the finale lands on a week where like, okay, I can review it right away on Monday because I don't have anything, like I will absolutely do it. Because
I'm very excited about this. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Plenty of things I still want to review this year that I haven't gotten a chance yet.
Yeah.
That is the
what week's Venice? It's September, right?
It's 28th of August until the 7th of September.
Okay, I think the Penguin, if it goes week to week, will run through October.
Doesn't it start in October? I thought it started in October.
No, it starts in September, I think.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I'm the fact checker.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Fuck IMDb. September 8th.
Ah, there you go.
Right
after Venice ends. So I'll be back home anyway.
Let's see. Is it week to week? No, I don't want to talk about. It's giving me fucking Club Penguin things for the week. Penguin.
It's gonna be week to week. Don't worry.
It's not decided on yet.
I don't believe that. All right. Eric Thorpe reviews. Though I think I've come around on it just because how cool it was. Do you think they are necessarily spoiling Deadpool and Wolverine by showing Sabretooth early? How do we know that's a spoiler? I don't think this movie is about Sabretooth. I don't think this movie is about giving Sabretooth a redemption arc or making him part of the team, or he's this big surprise that's gonna change like how the movie goes. So to me, that's not really a spoiler. If it was the Liev Schreiber version of Sabretooth, maybe, but they're not going to do anything significant or special with that Sabretooth. It's just cool that he's there. We're going to see him, and that's fine. Let's tease that. Let's tease these lesser, and I say lesser, less important characters, less important in the context of this specific movie. Give the audiences a tease, like if these characters are here, who else is here? So I don't think this is a spoiler at all. Zach?
I don't care. I don't think it's a spoiler. Everyone saw it. Everyone saw it.
Does he show up in the first 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes?
Yes.
There you go. It's not a
spoiler. Whoever saw that literally said everything in the trailers in the first 30 to 40 minutes.
There you go.
So there's still a whole other hour of the movie that no one knows what's going on. So,
alrighty, and
there's 3 more. I have 3 more real fast.
Yeah, go for it. So. You're the next one.
If by some long shot there is one, what do you think would be the most likely DC cameo in DPM Wolverine? Which character actor?
This is not a long shot. This is a no shot. It's called illegal to do this. and even if they could come to an agreement with Warner Brothers, what would be the point?
I'm going to say this.
You're not meant to be here. You're from DC. They already made a DC joke in Deadpool 2, and it was much funnier than that. So,
Ben Affleck's Batman, if it were to happen.
Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah. Henry Cavill's in the movie. Henry Cavill, I'm going to say he's in the movie.
Not a Superman.
No. As Wolverine.
The Rock.
Wouldn't it be fun? Imagine if they have all those actors that have been like rumored to play, and they're all different variants of Wolverine, and they all have like it's all them fighting in one scene.
Oh my god, the Wolverine War.
Yeah. So you have like
World
Terrence,
War Wolverine.
Hugh, Daniel, Carl, Henry. Let's just throw Tom Hardy in there too. Zach Efron. There's fucking 7 right there.
Yeah. You could bring in Dougray Scott and Russell Crowe, who were offered the part before Hugh Jackman originally.
Yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be cool.
Yeah. All right.
But I want Russell Crowe looking like how he was in that one Road Rage movie that he was in.
Oh, Unhinged.
Yeah.
Nathan Holton, Money Even Back predictions already answered that one. Final question from Nathan Holton. What WWE merch do you own? A lot of t-shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, 1 Cody Rhodes, 1 Kevin Owens, and that's it.
You own a ton of action figures, Ren.
Well, yeah, but is that merchandise?
Yes, that is merchandise.
Okay. And a ton of action figures. I do not own a replica belt, and I want one. I was very close to biting that bullet when I went to Glasgow, but they're much cheaper on the site. They're still very expensive. But on my bucket list for like 20 years at this point is that I want the WWE replica belt. So that's the one piece of merchandise I do not own, but I want to really, really badly. All right, everyone. Let me just refresh this one more time to see if we get any extra questions. But if not, that'll be it for... Oh, and we have a
last super chat. Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Lisa Luciano, first of all. Last wild guess, Miles Morales or any Spider-Verse character from the animated films. If anything, Miles Morales. But the complication would be the same as a Tobey Maguire or a Ghost Rider, who turns out was Sony. I really thought it was Fox for some reason.
But they own Ghost Rider now.
That's true.
They own that film now too.
That's true.
So.
I think they for sure could come to an agreement. I don't think we would see anyone else besides Miles. I think it'd be fun. Like what I said earlier about they're not going to dive into an animated zombie like thing. So I don't see them diving into the Spider-Verse, but I could see Miles becoming live action for a quick second. Yeah,
I'm going to say no against Miles, but I'm going to say yes against 2099.
Oh, okay.
He's working.
Because of the rumor that was out there?
The rumor, but not just that. Even without that rumor, I would think...
I buy more into your reasoning than the rumor itself. I don't buy that rumor whatsoever.
I don't buy it at all either.
Not at all.
I think that was a dumb rumor.
Yeah.
But it's so quick. You already have Oscar Isaac who plays Moon Knight. Yeah. You have... And maybe he plays a live action version of him.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe he also plays Moon Knight. And Spider-Man 2099 is one of the personalities.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Remember, we're on hiatus next weekend because I'm out in Spain enjoying the sun because it's fucking raining out here and it's July. Yeah, so enjoy.
Not out here.
Yeah.
Not out here. It's fucking hot.
I wish it was the case here. It seems like we had 1 week of summer and that was it. But thank you, everyone, so much for listening, so much for watching. Thank you, Zach, once more for joining me. Enjoy your next weekend away from our faces, from our voices, or just...
Not our videos, though. If you see up
our videos, no.
Watch this.
No, I got long legs. I finally have A Quiet Place Day 1. Still need to review Fly Me to the Moon. What else? I think I have one more thing to talk about, but we'll get to it. I don't have Kinds of Kindness or Horizon playing anywhere near me, so unfortunately I can now review those movies.
Bless your soul.
I'll wait for them to hit digital and watch them then. But thank you so much for the great questions, everyone. Thank you so much for the super chats, Luis Feliciano. That is incredible support for me to finally get a WWE Replica Championship. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, right before Comic-Con. And we all know already, our topic for the next episode that we do is going to be what was supposed to be the topic today, because the Acolyte will have you done.
It'll be done that week, yeah.
And we need to talk about the Acolyte. So until the next one, everyone, love each other. and love the movies. Bye-bye, everybody. See you later.